Introduction to the second part of our training, which is graphics. And graphics is very important in, let me say, in the life of human being. So far, human being is still existing. We are still going to have graphics. Hmm? Graphics is old as human being somehow because at olden people are still continuing from art to craft to everything. In the next sections, in the next class, that we are not going to look at the definition, the every other part of graphics. We are going to realize that graphics is something that human being need to relate with. There's no way. And this particular century we are now, there's no way we can do without graphics. Are you getting me? If you check online today, apart from video, graphics is second stage of the content people interact with in online. And I said yesterday, I got a kind of a mail from Canva. Canva is a graphics app or web app that allow marketers to put their content, either video, a very short animation or graphics, into the social media and to market the idea and the product of anyhow. And I checked their launching date. They launched it as 2013, which means in this January 1st of 2023, they are 10 years old. Now, 10 years old, they now the mail, the content of the mail is they are able to say they have 15 billion content that are pushed out from their platform. That is what I want to even focus on. 15 billion in 10 years. Yeah, if we do a kind of arithmetic, 15 billion, if we do more arithmetic of how many content people are putting per year, we are going to see that you say 15 billion and divide by 10. That means per year they have about 1.5. Hey, telling you that how important the graphics is. Graphics is not a joking thing. And if someone have some expertise or some power, some energy for how to make a some small design, is very very good. And this in this our training, I will do it in the two ways. Normally, because I always want people, I don't like people having an idea of things. I want people to, any skill you have, you can take that skill to the level of a professional level, some expert on any of the skill you have. Not just a merely idealist or something like that, that you can't even talk of in depth of that particular skill because never can tell. You may one particular skill that you have may be a pathway to in your success or wealth. At the end of the day, you are a doctor, you are a clinical, you are clinical. All those things may not even make you a millionaire or make you rich or even to sustain you for a long time. One particular skill, maybe because you know how to use WordPress now, WordPress now really can like a opportunity for you to become a nice engineer future. And that is why me, for any skill that have opportunity to interact with a little bit, I work a little bit in depth to see that okay, I'll go beyond idealist. I go to the level that at least nobody can say anything. Even if the professor of that particular skill or knowledge is talking, I can still interact. I can still follow along. I won't be a just totally novice of everything they are saying or having a kind of a scared to communicate within that industry when the expert is talking. I'm still going to communicate and experience myself because I know a little bit bunch of that knowledge, and that is my personal idea. Right? Is a little bit important for us to see how we can go a little bit deeper in how to use graphics. Are you getting that? Is in that line, I'm now going to design this particular training in two ways. For those of us that we don't even have idea of graphics at all, and we are working on one particular line, maybe we are a student, we are doing many things, we don't want to, that is not easy for us to merge uh, some professional software to our graphics. I will quickly let us see how we can use that canvas. Are you getting me? How we can use canvas to quickly go along to do small graphics. At the same time, I will still go to tell you some of benefit of using those professional software that are mainly for graphics. And that is the way I plan this particular sections of the training. I want us to quickly see how we can benefit. Graphics is very important. Apart from being a graphic designer, I've seen a lot of benefits for being a graphic designer. One thing that is that even if I'm going stranded somehow, there are some small things that can just come in my line. Because I've worked more than 10 years in graphics industry, in less than 10, 20 or 30 minutes, I can come up with any design that you can think of. In most cases, I may not even do more brainstorming because I have been in depth in the graphics, and I've seen many things, I've read many things about graphics. I've go deeper in what is in the graphics industry, that it make it easy for me to come up with any concept less than 10, 15 minutes. If you give me a brief for a design, less than 20 minutes, I will come with concept that you yourself will say, wow. And if I handle any software to work on, in less than that 20, 30 minutes, a lot of effect will come to my head because I've worked along with different software. And talk of any design software that I cannot work with. Yeah, because of I believe in one particular uh, message. The message say it is not an hammer. Get me? It is not an hammer. It is carpenter. Which means that every one of us, we are not a carpenter. If they give us an hammer, we may not be able to use it properly. Are you getting me? But if you give a 10-old carpenter, trained as a carpenter, even if you give him a not standard hammer, it will work with it perfectly because of what is trained carpenter. The same thing to me. I don't believe in any software. I don't see any software any important in any software. There is no any propaganda I want to push to me concerning particular software. Maybe telling me Photoshop is the most or Illustrator is the best. To me, I don't see them. I believe that any tool that come to my line, I will work with it. Any tool that are available to me anywhere I go, I can work with it. And that is where I always work around things. All my skills that I have, there is no way that I will attach or that like a particular tool now be attached to one particular tool. I don't do that because I believe that as you have a freedom, only thing that can tie me down is God. That can say you do not do this, you must do this. Apart from that, I don't see any other thing that can touch me down. Then if I wish to go along with you, I will go. And I feel I want to detach with you, I will detach. Because tomorrow, if your tools is supporting kufru, or it's not in my belief, and if I attach to it, I will continue using it because I don't have options. That's where I'm now saying maybe it's the conditions. The conditions. Your tool now. That if your tools or what you are saying or what your platform is saying is not go with my own belief, I can completely remove you and work with another one. And that is why I don't likely attach with any tools or anything. I like to live my life free, even though I think you are part of it. I will work around any other platform or anything to get my result. And that is personally I urge you to do. Work around different tools, master them, see most of the basic functionality they have, work around them, and see how you can best use any one of them at any time. Quite alright. There are some tools that have some a best. They have some a preference than other. But nevertheless, in most cases, when I make a design, I use CorelDRAW in most time. But when I make my design, some people ask me which software are they use. I ask you, what do you need? Is it not graphics? Because they cannot decode which software I use to build my design, to make my graphics. Because everything will look okay. And what is all behind my graphic design is I understand the theory of design. I understand the philosophy behind design. I know a lot of scientific rule about design. That is what guide my design. It's not the tools. When I make a design, I know the rule. I know what I need to pay attention to. I know what is very important to me to do. which I'm going to take you through as continue in our training from next week by the grace of God. Then from my beginning message telling you about how important of design. If a particular platform, um a canvas as that matter saying they have 15 billion design within the 10 years, tell me what is Photoshop going to have, what is Illustrator going to have, what is CorelDRAW going to have. Then if you will match all those things in the last 10 years, you can imagine how trillions of graphics people have done within the past 10 years. That is why graphics is one of a very important skill anybody can use. Even though they are still contemplating on some argument on in design industry and with professor expertise that saying that AI can take away graphics. But personally, with my little experience in design, I still believe it's not going to happen, because one of the skill that AI cannot do is creative. AI cannot be creative. It's not possible. It can just work around the instructions. Yes, they are trying. There's a lot of machine learning that make AI a little bit powerful solutions. But when you come to a lot of things, when you want to understand human being, there's still going to be a limited what AI can do for us. This means AI can still not work on its own. It's still going to work in instruction with human being. Like example I saw yesterday about GPT. Is still the same thing. It depends on the prompt you put to him can determine the response. That means because I have mastered the prompt, I've understand how can fully create a prompt for AI, and that is why it can get me a nice content, a nice thing, information that look people will say powerful. This can, if you use it and you don't know how to come up with a very good prompt, forget it. There's no way. There's no way. I get it. That is still going that how powerful human being is, how creative human being is, and that's going to determine what the kind of result you can get from AI and other things the computer or technology want to bring to us. Now, from that line, is still telling us that if you have learned how to be creative, because you can learn creativities. Hmm? Yes, some people born with creative skill. Yes, you can inherit creativities and you can born with it. At the same time, you can learn it. There is no way. If you come to my graphics training and you won't be creative, I bet it not. There's no way. And I hope no matter how dull you are, or you think you are not slow learner, like people used to say, the minimum is 6 months. There is no way. Within the level of 6 months, if you are always be with me and you are doing it, you are following the instruction, there is no way you are going to master the creativity between design. That is just that. In the short time we have, as I always said, practice make perfections, and if you don't do that, it's going to affect our results and delivery is going to be poor. Then please, I know it's not an easy task, and that's just it. Like I used to tell some people, the only opportunity we have as masses in Nigeria especially is to see how you can acquire as much as possible skill. That is opportunity we have. Even either you stay in Nigeria and you think of japa, like what is happening now. I still have one of my students that say, Abu, òun ti lẹ̀ tó òun ti wà UK báyìí. No wahala ọ̀gá, Ọlọ́run máa dáàbò bẹ̀ ńbẹ̀ o. I get it that the guy is a designer and he has just after my training work with I think like let me say 2 companies. Now he are able to build himself. He work in lot of things and he say opportunity come up for him in UK and he's already there. Then if with Ramo from Allah, he can become a billionaire any moment from now because he may get better offer from there and become big guy in the industry. What give him the opportunity? It's not skill. His family, the mama and the baba, they are still in one particular area in Ibadan. But because guys also to Lagos and find a means, I can say for months he's sleeping in my office. The guy is sleeping in my office for months. because he doesn't have place to stay. He's from petroleum attendant to now UK guide designer. You can see it. That means it's possible if we don't follow the rule of or the saying of the President Buhari saying Nigerian youth is lazy. Which to me personally, I believe I follow him in that particular statement. Yes, I've trained many people, I've worked with many people. People will give a lot of complaints saying they are busy, they are doing things. But I know people sleeping busy, people lazy busy. There's a lot of busy. As me personally have experienced, there's a lot of lazy busy, a lot of busy. I get it up. If we can remove ourselves from those complaints and some excuse or all those things, we put all these things together. Believe me, there's opportunity for us wider. The opportunity is very wider and you can't go around this. And that's just what I'm going to say for today. And for those that their focus is web, mm, I wish best of luck. If you have any issue, you can reach to me at any time, any moment. Mm? But for those who are combining the course of graphics and the web, mm, we continue from here till we see the end of the 6 week of our training. But